Caleb, we got
No.
Good answer. We got the injury report today. Obviously, a number of guys questionable. I think we knew most of them, but kind of where do you stand? What are this? I know you don't have to go through each guy, but what do you think it's going to look like tomorrow?
Yeah, I can tell you we're gonna have a good group playing. That's gonna give us a great chance to win the game. That's the main thing I can tell you. We have, like you said, and the injury report showed, I think it's 9 guys that are questionable, and probably 5 or 6 of those are unlikely to play, and maybe 2 to 4 likely. So that's basically what I can tell you. But we've analyzed Charlotte extremely well. We've had obviously 2 weeks to prepare. We know what they're good at. We know where we can hopefully exploit them. Won't be an easy game. They had a good result and good performance in their last match. We had a good performance and good result also in our last match, so we're hoping to put 2 wins in a row, and we know obviously that this is a big home game because we need to, from here on out, take care of business at home and build that winning feeling, that fortress, and be tough to play against at home. And obviously we know it's going to be a nice night and good summer night in Columbus. Hopefully we get a lot of fans out there and we can reward them with a win.
Obviously, Charlotte had a game, but new head coach taken over. I don't know how much changes in that time, but you only have one game to kind of analyze. How does that change how you look at a game when there's only one game with a new guy in charge?
Yeah, good question. It's always nice to have that game.
Yeah.
A lot of times you face a new coach with no games, and so we get to kind of see what's different, and not a lot different, other than it seems like the group energy and the freedom maybe and the confidence in that last game was a notch better, but pretty similar philosophy in terms of looking to play. They want the ball. Most games they dominate possession, very good at positional attacks. When they lose the ball, they counter press immediately, and can really give you problems with the ball. Their spacing, their rotations, and again their ability to generate off positional attacks is very good. Obviously we'll see where they're at with Swiderski coming back in. He's a very good player. I really like him. Gives them a different dimension up top. So they do have some talent as well. So yeah, it'll be just like every week. I tell you, it's going to be a tough game, and there's no easy games in Major League Soccer, and this is a big one for us because we can create some momentum and got a good win on the road. Now we need to come back and get a good win at home, and that puts us, right there in the playoff position if we get this win.
I know guys were out, international duty injuries, whatnot, but what did you want to accomplish over this break, and how do you feel like you guys got there?
Yeah, first week was rest, recovery. Kind of the second week with guys gone, it was more about just improving on some bigger picture concepts within how we want to play. Kind of really analyzing the first 13 games and what are the areas we need to improve in, even though we don't have everybody into training. Some guys gone, some guys injured. We felt like it was a good opportunity to kind of just dig into and improve in some areas, generally speaking, because it was our second week without a game on the weekend. We did do a scrimmage at the end of each week to stay fit, and we did essentially a 75 and then an 85. So that helps us physically. And then this week, as guys start to come back in, we really prepared and factored in Charlotte this week. Was a little tricky, to be honest with you, because of all the moving parts with guys injured, who's going to be healthy, guys coming back from international duty. There was a lot of moving parts this week. but we were able to set our team and our plan the last 3 days, so that's good. But we will have some key guys out, but I have a lot of confidence in my squad, and I think we showed that on the road at Atlanta. We had some different guys in, and this year I think we've shown that a lot better than last year, that we can lose guys and not miss a beat. But I think what you've also seen is we've adapted, and we've looked at, okay, who's healthy, we've looked at the opponent, and we've come up with a plan that really fits that game based on who we have available and what the opponent offers.
It's the first time we've seen Kevin Molino on the questionable list and not out. How have you liked the progression that he's had in his injury that is almost now a year in the recovery process?
Yeah, he will be available. We settled on that today, which is really exciting and great for him. He's been through a lot. When you look at a football career, he's experienced the highest of highs, being one of the best players in our league, and then he's had 3 ACL surgeries, so that's meant he's been out essentially a year 3 different times. What an incredible young man. It's his birthday today, so he's getting older, a year older, but he's a young man, and honestly, he looks, I can honestly say this, he looks better now than he did last year when he came in. So he looks stronger, he looks more fit, and he's gonna play a role in this game. He's still coming back in, so be patient with him. Obviously, it's not been in training, a lot. It's been about 2 weeks, being off a year. So he's getting his rhythm and his fitness, but he's a very good player, and he's healthy, and I think there were some questions when this injury happened, because you start to look at 3 ACLs, and can he come back? And he's back. So, I'm really proud of him, his work he put in, his attitude that he's had, and he's such a good guy in the locker room as well. He's just a positive, spirit.
Yeah. You gotta really pay attention when he talks though, because he's got that accent.
Island.
The island
Trini.
accent.
That's the Trini accent.
Yeah, I love it.
It's a good accent.
That's great news. You talked about being adaptable, and we saw that in the game against Atlanta. How important was that game? Was Eric Hurtado's impact in that game to show opponents we can give you guys different looks?
Yeah, I think it's kind of the story of the season. I in the opening meeting with my group talked about, the cycle we're in, the maturity of our group, but also now, the flexibility we need to have, and with the pieces and the depth that we have, that offers us some flexibility to change and to use different shapes, to use different plans. And I think what we showed is, we don't have to have the ball. We can win in transition. We can win with good defending. We can win on set pieces. And I think it's great for us to be able to do that. To gain confidence in losing a guy like Lucas, and yet still being able to win a match in MLS in a different way. And you saw we needed to play differently. We have to play differently without Lucas. And we might have to play differently this week, without some of the guys we have. And, I want to give a lot of credit to my coaches again, how much work they put in preparation and scouting and just in our decisions each week, going, okay, here's our group, here's who's healthy, here's Charlotte. What's the right way to approach this game? And let's not just, same team, same subs, round peg, square hole. Let's really just look at it as a one-off each week. And that's different than I normally like to work. I like to have same group continuity. I think I heard their coach say that. I think most coaches like that, but I think in this league, when you're in it year after year after year, you have to make changes, and you have to throw some tweaks in, and you have to be willing to do different things. And that's one of the things that I've tried to do this year myself and with my coaches.
I think it was post game. You mentioned Aiden and how he was just super focused. Like you knew it was going to be a good game. Is there anything in particular you've noticed in the growth of his game, even this year, that has allowed him to be more impactful game in and game out? Because no matter if he's starting or not, he seems to come in and make an impact.
Yeah, I think, great question. I think what you want to see in a young player is that they're continuing to make steps forward, and that doesn't always happen. There's many players, young players out there that get a run of games and plateau and then fall off the cliff. And he is continuing to make steps forward. His game is improving in every aspect. The biggest improvement I've seen is in his ability to read the game, both sides of the ball. He's reading things a lot quicker, and he's embracing his greatest strength, which is a ball winner. And I think I told him today, he needs to continue to focus on what he's really good at, and it doesn't mean he's not a good player on the ball. He is, but if he just adopts a simple approach of being a ball winner and using his range, he has one of the best engines in Major League Soccer in terms of distance covered and getting around, and he has a fire in his belly and a passion to win balls that for me and a young player is rare. And so he's embracing that and focusing on those things. And because he's reading things a little quicker, he's winning more balls. Because he's, instead of getting there late, he's getting there on time. And he's a tough kid. He's a really strong, tough kid. And he's getting in more duels because his startup position's better and he's reading it quicker, which allows him to get in those duels. And when he gets in duels, he's going to win them.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm seeing. And then he's just playing simple, and letting the attacking side be very simple. But I'm proud of him. He earned the start last game. He earned the start this game. And so we're real pleased with that. There's nothing I love more than to see a young player keep growing.
One last thing. Derek, I asked Derek about if this is the most confidence he's had in his career. He said he's played with confidence before, but the goals and assists are coming and that makes it easier. What have you seen about him that has allowed that? Because I know he's played well in spurts before for you guys, but it seems to be the consistency this year is there.
Yeah, I think confidence can ebb and flow with a lot of guys. I think the best players always have it and rarely lose it. They might have a bad, game. Every once in a while they might make some mistakes, but they don't then now lose confidence. It's more they just made a mistake and, it's on to the next. When you have players that are riding a wave all the time of confidence, you really don't know what, you're gonna get up or down. And I think what I'm seeing with him is there's more of a steady, consistent flow of confidence. He's not too high or too low. He's not riding a wave anymore. It's just there. It's in his play. And he believes in himself. And I think it helps when he has coaches that believe in him, and we stick with him, and we value him a lot. We think he's a very good player. It doesn't hurt he goes with the national team and scores a couple goals. Again, he just continues to kind of blossom. So I think it's been a good run for him here, for us, and I'm not satisfied though. I want him to continue to become one of the better kind of wingers in the league.
Thanks everyone.